Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. A wave of financial collapses in multiple markets is happening across the world. So if you guys thought this was just happening in crypto, well, you probably want to stay tuned. Buckle in because we're going to talk about this crash that we're seeing today. How long could it continue? Is it a Black Swan event or Black Monday, asks Shadow of Ezra. Stocks and crypto have plunged as investors start to panic while a global sell-off deepens. Absolute chaos in Japan as stocks are on track for their biggest decline in more than 8 years following a significant drop last Friday. This is an even larger drop than the Black Monday crash of 1987. And guys, you're probably too young, even I'm too young to remember this, but that was a pretty big crash way back then, almost 40 years ago now. South Korea has halted all sell orders as the market crashed more than 5%. So this is the general stock market over there in South Korea. In the United States, the Magnificent Seven stocks have erased nearly $500 billion overnight. And here's where, the socio-political comes in with rumors of World War III and civil war across Europe. The markets are expecting an even deeper crash tomorrow. So when was this posted? This was posted late last night at 11 p.m. on August the 4th, 2024. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm dropping it, it is now Monday, August the 5th. So what are we to expect, guys, and how much longer could we have before the crypto market does recover? The other thing is, guys, great opportunities for buying, and for my Patreon subscribers, I'm going to be releasing, I think, an updated top 5 cryptocurrencies that I think do have potential now that we're seeing even more lows in the market. So coins that are below even the cost average that I bought in at way back in the spring of 2023. So, a great opportunity here. The Patreon is only $5 a month. I've kept it purposely affordable for this exact reason. I want you guys to be able to follow as the news is coming out. So likely within the next day or two, I'm going to have that up. We could expect more lows in the coming days. $500 billion plunge, okay? This coming from Cointelegraph, the largest 3-day wipeout for crypto in a year. The crypto market has just witnessed its largest 3-day sell-off event in 12 months amid weak job data in the US and revived fears of a recession. So the narratives are just wild. People are trying to pick and choose. Why is this happening? They're saying it's job data. Some people are saying it's the Nikkei, the Japanese stock market. But here's a kind of a more full picture of what's going on here. I think the crypto market has just clocked its most significant 3-day sell-off in almost a year, shedding as much as $510 billion from its total market capitalization since August the 2nd. The sharp crypto sell-off arrived amid faltering equities performance, with the S&P 500 falling as much as 4.4% in the same time frame. So the S&P, guys, was down on the weekend. I did talk a little bit about the stock market and how we were seeing a significant downturn since Thursday. Here's the S&P 500. I just thought I would bring this up just to give you guys a comparison. Market has not opened up yet. And if you guys take a look here, you guys can see that dotted orange line here. Here, I'm going to put a blue line there just to show you guys. This is the pre-market prices. This is where the market is currently trading now, pre-market. So way below even Friday's close, and that's just the S&P 500. If we bring up the Russell 2000, we are down in and around here. So let me just bring that back down here. You guys can see that. That is pre-market trading, so way below where we saw Friday's numbers. And let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Whoops. Let's just throw that on there. NASDAQ here. NASDAQ also trading below where we saw it trading on Friday. So right up in there. Not as bad as the Russell 2000. Nevertheless, all these markets, guys, are seeing something similar, so it's not just the crypto market. The market stumble, though, has been led by weak employment data, slowed growth among major tech stocks, and revived fears of a recession. Several major companies, including Microsoft and Intel, posted lower than expected second quarter results. The market leader, Nvidia, was battered by expectations of impending rate cuts in September, which has seen capital flow back into smaller lagging companies. And because of this, we are also seeing the cryptocurrency market fall. So the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically have also tumbled drastically amid a sudden market sell-off on August the 5th, with the assets plummeting 10% and 18% respectively as of the time of this publication. So in today's video, we're going to look at everything. Bitcoin, the altcoin market, what is happening for stocks too, and guys, Berkshire Hathaway, they've dumped more shares this quarter than any other quarter in their entire history. This one courtesy of Jacob King here. He is saying they know what is coming, and you guys can see here, these are quarter markers since March 2017. You guys can see what they were doing, whether they were purchasing or whether they were selling. And take a look over here, guys. June 2024, this current quarter that we are in, the largest sell-off in their history, at least in the last few years. So this is big news. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway cut stake in Apple by nearly 50%. So Apple in particular, this was denoted to back on Saturday. So this was before the bulk of the bloodbath. However, probably coincidentally helped spur on some of this bloodbath. So Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway slashed its stake in tech giant Apple by nearly 50%. According to Berkshire's second quarter earnings report on Saturday, Berkshire Hathaway disclosed its holdings in Apple were valued at about $84.2 billion at the end of the quarter, dropping from 790 million shares to 400 million shares. The sharp sell-off is notable for Buffett, who is also known for holding onto stocks for a long period of time. So this is out of the ordinary. Well, as you guys did see here from this chart, again, just showing you guys the dump for this particular quarter in 2024 compared to other quarters. Berkshire Hathaway has previously downsized its stake in Apple, which has a market cap of roughly $3.3 trillion. In the final 3 months of 2023, Berkshire Hathaway sold off 10 million shares of Apple, representing about 1% of their holdings. And in the first quarter, they did cut their stake by 13%. Meanwhile, the Omaha, Nebraska-based conglomerate reported a record cash pile of nearly $277 billion for the second quarter. Berkshire Hathaway reported about $189 billion in cash and equivalents in the first quarter. So this is now what the picture is looking like, guys. We're slowly starting to make sense of this, and you guys can see here now fear is at 31, so dropped off significantly since yesterday. I think we were at 43 or something, somewhere in neutral territory. Now we are currently in fear, so firmly in fear at 31 here, guys, and take a look at the market cap. That is down under $2 trillion. It's down back to $1.8 trillion, down 16%. Whoa. In the last 24 hours. And you can see market activity has ramped up quite a bit. A lot of selling pressure here in the crypto market. That is up 194.14%. Bitcoin dominance is also, well, investors are selling off everything. So it is sitting in and around 56.1%. That is still up, I guess, compared to the other altcoins. But guys, double-digit losses here. 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has lost 16.1%. Ethereum is down 22.8%. BNB coin down 19%, Solana down 21%, XRP down 18.6%. We got Toncoin, that's also down 14%, Dogecoin down 23%. So, pretty much a sea of red here for crypto and a bloodbath at that. A lot of downward momentum for the crypto space today. Again, a good opportunity if you guys have cash on the side. Of course, that is not financial advice, but these are the times, guys. These are the times now that you want to take advantage of if you feel like you do not hold enough cryptocurrency. Alex Kruger here commenting on this. So this debacle is obviously macro-driven rather than crypto-specific, and I wanted to say this off the top because I think a lot of people think, oh, this is crypto. I'm not following anything else. But you do have to realize it is a macro trend. It isn't just for crypto. It isn't being spurred on by an FTX type event. He's saying it's also becoming apparent the main driver is not the U.S. economy collapsing. Recession talk spiked post-payroll last Friday. It seems the policy mistake was not the Fed not cutting fast enough, but rather the Fed not cutting while Japan hiked. So Japan is part of this story, a large part of this story here, which we are going to get to in a second. So this is hindsight. Obviously, we now need U.S. economic data to confirm this. Charts show where the sell-off started last week on Wednesday, right after the FOMC, exactly when the Nikkei opens. A financial crisis mainly driven by a cascade of levered Japanese speculators is a much better alternative than a financial crisis driven by the U.S. entering into a recession. So that is, I guess, the bit of a silver lining there. When it comes to U.S. data, the focus is now on the job market, so pay particular attention to initial job loss claims this Thursday, not generally market-moving data, as well as the state employment data providing detailed state-level employment data, something markets rarely pay much attention to be released on August the 16th. So this is what we're seeing now, guys. Part of this has to do with Japan, and I'm going to explain what is going on in Japan right now, okay? Bricks News here posting this. So Just in, Japan's stock market did suffer or have been suffering their worst losses in history. The Nikkei 225 stock index closed at 31,003 points today, dropping by 4,500 points or about 12.7%. And for, traditional stock markets, that is a large number. Usually, we're used to seeing crypto drop 15, 20, 25%, boom, like that. But for traditional stock markets, that is quite large. This is the largest single day point drop in the index's history, surpassing the previous record set on October the 20th, 1987, when it fell 3,800 points. So why is this happening in Japan? Well, Adam Ko here gives us a bit of a description here, all right? Listen up, guys. The sharp rise in the Japanese yen to US dollar is causing a massive unwind of yen carry trade positions and contributing to a sharp decline in US stocks. So it is the correlation between the yen and the US dollar. For those who do not understand how this works, here's a brief explanation. So number one, many traders were borrowing Japanese yen at low interest rates, converting them to US dollars and using this to buy US stocks. Number two, now the Bank of Japan is raising interest rates. The Japanese yen has strengthened significantly against the US dollar. Now these traders are in big crap. Not only must they pay higher interest for the Japanese yen they borrowed, they are now facing huge forex losses as well. So it's a double whammy. The U.S. assets they are holding may not be enough to repay the Japanese yen that they borrowed. Number three, this is causing a huge unwind in these trade positions. Traders facing big losses and margin calls are selling their U.S. stocks to raise USD, converting them back to Japanese yen and paying back their loans. So it's a bit of a cluster F, I guess, if I could put it mildly. This can lead to more selling pressure on the U.S. stock market and even more declines in the short term. So it's all a bit of a cascading domino effect. Middle East war escalation. So now we get into the socio-political. Of course, because we're not going to just blame it on one thing, U.S. political uncertainty is also adding to the fear and panic. As an investor, this is great news because this type of short-term crisis and panic is what gives me the opportunity to scoop up high-quality U.S. stocks at bigger and bigger discounts, take advantage of temporary mispricing caused by short-term crisis. This is how we get richer. So guys, again, if you want to follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for my trading journey, you can see what I'm trading. I'm going to be posting an updated top 5 cryptocurrency pick list based on what I am currently seeing in the market, and hopefully I'll be getting that out within the next few days. So we've got socio-political factors, we've got the Japanese yen, Credible Crypto here also commenting on Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. So let's get into crypto now. One of the things I wanted to mention here about Bitcoin, okay, and I want to bring this up because this is very important to note here, okay, very, very, very important to note here. If we look back at the bull run of 2016, 2017, so 2 bull runs ago, routinely, okay, this was the bottom of the market right and around here, January 2015, and routinely did we see this market correct by, what was it, over here, this is 40%, okay, and over here, what do we see, 30, 34, 33% give or take, and then we saw another one right over here. That was another 33%. So these are roughly the same, 33, 34%. This one was 40%. And from these points on, guys, we still had, okay, so I'm going to put a date tool here. We still had roughly, whoops, no. I got to redo that. So this one here, pardon me, this one here was 33.93. And then I'm going to bring up the date range tool. So from the bottom here all the way to the top of the bull run, right? We still saw about 501, 502 days from this date here. We still saw roughly, it still took roughly 314 days. And then I'm going to take another measurement here. From there, that took about 266 days. So, and we were routinely seeing 40, 35 to 40% drops there. Now, let's just take a look at where we are today, and let's take a look at this drop here because, even when we drop down over here, this was only 23%. Okay, now we are down, or we did see a drop of 32%, so not even 40%, 32% only. I mean, a 40% drop would have brought us firmly into $44,000 territory. I mean, we haven't gone there, luckily. This is a 32% drop. And what were those numbers? Okay, still 500 and some odd days away from the top of the market. In this case, 314 days. And in this case, 266 days. So I'm going to just plot that on our current chart here. from this bottom. If we are to assume that this is now finally the bottom, let's hope it is, 500 some odd days would bring us in and around here somewhere. Okay, 300 and what was it, 316 or something like that, would bring us in and around here somewhere. Is that about right? And what was that last one there? 314 and then 266, which I think is a little too premature. But even if I just bring up 266, guys, these numbers bring us firmly into 2025. So April 2025, June 2025, and this last one here, December 2025. Now, as we've been predicting, and I'm going to be talking about this in more detail over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. This is the time frame here where we are assuming the top of the market will be. So to see this kind of 32% correction, when we've seen 35 to 40% corrections in the past, is this now perhaps looking a little bit more normal to you? Again, I get it, the market is crashing. You're probably a little worried, but remember, guys, this is part of the cycle. Rob Art here saying, I'm seeing comparisons of the COVID crash, even people saying it's worse. It's not. BTC nuked about 72% from the top and barely held the bottom. Altcoins nuked about 70% after already having nuked 70%. So the beer flu COVID crash was much worse. Everyone said it was the end of the world. What a great time to buy. If we get a repeat, I will start adding and averaging into coins. And Rob doesn't usually do this unless he does see really steep opportunities. Getting back to this though, guys, Credible Crypto here saying a quick debrief before he goes to bed. The weakness on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart here is crystal clear, and I think it's a sign of things to come, just like the scenario we saw at $25,000 lows, which I discussed at the time over here. And he posted a link here. And guys, I post all these links in the description of the video if you want to check them out, before Bitcoin's monster rally and new impulse to 70,000 plus began. So a few key things to note here. On the Ethereum versus BTC chart, BTC has front run its HTF demand by a couple of $100, while Ethereum has actually wicked through it. So I'm just going to bring up this chart here and read you guys some of this. So BTC may be in the process of seeing a close back above the local swing low to its left, whereas Ethereum is clearly going to close below it. So guys, we've got Ethereum up here in the top, Bitcoin down here on the bottom, and you can see here Ethereum is seeing the losses in a worse capacity rather than Bitcoin. So what are the implications here? In my opinion, it's likely that Bitcoin is going to recover from this correction far more quickly than Ethereum. For Bitcoin, this move looks like it's probably just a liquidity run or a hunt into HTF demand, and this will be further confirmed with a coming HTF close. So a close back above the swing low on our left would add weight to this idea. Meanwhile, on Ethereum, this breakdown is much more significant. So obviously we have seen lower lows, but this is, I think, emblematic of altcoins versus Bitcoin. So if we were to just look at Ethereum and say, okay, Ethereum represents the altcoin market, Bitcoin is its own thing, I think this could paint an even clearer picture for many of the viewers of this video. Basically what he's saying, Bitcoin going to recover first, Ethereum eventually will recover over time. And I mean, it does make sense when we look at, the total market cap here, everything is coming down quite a bit. But if we take actually the total two, you guys can see total two, and really what we should be doing is looking at total two compared to BTC. And so let me just remove that. So yeah, I mean, none of it is looking quite good at this moment, but remember, short-term pain, long-term gain. And if we, think of Ethereum as a representative cryptocurrency of the rest of the crypto market, I think we can have faith. I think we can have confidence. Now, XRP, guys, on the chart obviously did break down below this level here that I was talking about yesterday. So completely breaking below this trend line. Right now trading at 44 cents per coin, but I wouldn't get wrapped up in, the price swings for any individual coins at this moment. I do think we need to find our footing. I think the market does need to recalibrate. So what's the positive? Okay, sentiment here. Is this the dip? Discussions about buying have spiked. So that is a good indicator that the market is going to turn around soon. When discussions of buying have spiked, this is good, according to sentiment, but not as much as you may think on such a dramatic drop. So they are suggesting expect for a bigger reaction to come as the US wakes up for the Monday morning stock market. Emotional sell-offs will only accelerate the timing of crypto's rebound. So here are some indications here on 4chan, on the X platform, on Reddit, Telegram, and Bitcoin Talk. So some social media indicators there. We've also got Peter Brandt coming out with this. I have continually been harassed for this interpretation. I continue to believe it is a possibility. I deal in possibilities, not probabilities, and never certainties. Do I have your attention yet? So he was suggesting that Bitcoin was going to come down to this level here before it does come up. So these numbers here are actually the numbers of gold per ounce that it would take to purchase one Bitcoin. So instead of denominating it in US dollars, he put 15 ounces of gold to buy one Bitcoin. We could come down to that level. Obviously, those are levels that we did see when we did retrace back in the bull run of 2021. But guys, then he's suggesting we could go back up even higher than all-time high. Remember, how many days ago was it when we were already back up to $70,000 per BTC? Remember, guys, this was just, so this is today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. Only 1 week ago were we up to $70,000. So it really does go to show you how fast this can change in a week. $20,000 difference in the Bitcoin price. So all things to consider, guys. Keep the faith. Raul Pal here posting this big sloppy range in the majors is really due to massive supply changing hands from the last cycle and longer ago problems. The FTX estate, Mt. Gox, Germany, GBTC, and now Jump, plus new projects and unlocks and tokens. This too shall pass, and all the major overhang will soon be digested. So do not mess this up, guys. Make sure you're taking this opportunity if you feel like you need to purchase more cryptocurrency, because we don't get these huge corrections that often. And again, remember, it's only a 32% correction in the grand scheme of things. We have seen 35 to 40% corrections in the past on our way up. And there's still a lot more bull run to go. So take it as an opportunity. Even Ali Charts here posting this. The Bitcoin MVRV ratio on the 30-day hasn't been this low since November of 2022. Now, you got to remember, what was November 2022? Let's go back here on the chart and just bring our cursor down and around here at the absolute lowest point, guys, in the crypto market back then. November 22nd, 2022, that was the lowest point in crypto before we started to rally to the upside. And Ali Charts here is saying that period marked the bottom and an excellent buying opportunity. So you guys can see it there, the MVRV on the 30-day, and we are matching that over here. Let it all burn, says Mr. Man. Cramer has spoken, the reverse indicator. Retweeting out Jim Cramer's tweet, the futures are down so hard on nothing, but as I wrote tonight, we aren't oversold enough yet for a real bounce. Read my Sunday think piece for CNBC Investing Club. So are we at the bottom? It seems as though we probably are. And for more information, guys, on what I'm buying, I'm going to be putting out an updated top 5 cryptocurrencies that I think might have the best potential once we do see that euphoria phase. All that can be found at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.